What's up? Another beautiful day down south. Not really. Looks like it's gonna rain. It's all good though, man. We need some rain so we can get that grass green again. You know, got a lot of grass. We live out on the golf course, man. We got a lot of grass we got to turn green. So I got two questions I'm going to answer real quick. My New York, New Jersey friend wants to know the difference between what the Robinhood app is now versus what it's going to look like when they add the wallet. He's kind of unsure of what a wallet is. Why isn't Robinhood a wallet already? That's a good question. Why aren't they? Second question for bodybuilding is one that I asked a very long time ago, back in the 80s. I asked Tom Platz this question. Is it possible to get as large, natural, as these guys that are enhanced on anabolic steroids? Can you get as big natural? Great question, and you're probably going to be surprised by the answer. I'll answer that one second. Let's start with Robinhood. The best way I can explain the way you're buying cryptos right now on Robinhood is the way my dad used to buy gold back in the 80s that I can remember. My father would go to the bank, he would buy a certain amount of gold, and I would go to the bank with him. And then I'd sit out in the car, and when he would come back out in the car, I'd be like, well, where's the gold? I want to see the gold. You know, like, this is exciting. I thought you were coming out with some gold. And he never did. He never actually had the gold. And he would say, well, the bank keeps the gold. They keep it safe. You don't actually go home with the gold. And that's pretty much what you got going on with your cryptos on Robinhood, is you don't get the gold, baby. They keep it. Yeah, they keep it. Doesn't that suck? So you buy Dogecoin right now, you don't get to do anything with it. You hold it like it is a stock, like it's shares of stock. All you can do is watch it either inflate in value or deflate in value, and you can just give it back. You can sell it back. You cannot buy a boat with it. You cannot send me 2,000 Dogecoin if I outbench you. That's right. You can do nothing with it right now, which, by the way, I'm uploading that video either today or tomorrow. Your money isn't really your money in Dogecoin, but I'm sorry, in Robinhood. Your Dogecoin is Robinhood's Dogecoin. That's why they hold the largest damn account. That's right. They hold the largest amount of Dogecoin because it's all of our Dogecoin. That billions that you see, it belongs to us, okay, not them. This new platform, what they're going to do is they're creating an outsourced wallet, an external wallet. Let's say the new address on the wallet is Teddy Zane's Dogecoin. I don't know, whatever, Robinhood. That's my address within Robinhood, so that if you have Dogecoin now in Robinhood, I give you that address and you can send me some Doge. That's to simplify it. Okay, right now you don't have that address. You don't have that external wallet. You don't have it. They don't offer it. But in their most recent memo, they are working very diligently to get you that wallet, okay? And they're also working diligently to add more cryptos to the platform, which means I'm going to be pretty darn excited, because there's a few more I'd like to throw into my Robinhood mountain of money that I'm losing right now. Anyhow, yeah, I lost a lot of money in Tesla. And what happened Dogecoin over the weekend? I got pissed. Thought we were going up. Weak hands, man. Y'all blew it. All those little guys are blowing it for us, man. And you got the big dogs selling off, man, making quick money, because they know when it goes up that 0.5, some of these dudes are making thousands, maybe tens or hundreds of thousands. All right, so there it is. Hopefully coming soon by the end of the year. You get an external wallet. Next question, anabolic steroids. Can you get as big naturally as you can on steroids? I'm going to say this. We're talking back in the 90s or the 80s. How big did those guys get that were on the Olympia stage that were taking steroids? How big did they get? Can you do that naturally? The answer is yes. The answer is yes. When I asked Tom Platz that question back in the 80s, he said no. But I'm sure if I asked him that same question today, he would say yes, because it is possible. It's a freak of nature possible. There's not people like typical you, typical me that can do it, because it happens at birth. You see, at birth, you're going to be given these genetic enhancements. Naturally, at birth, you're going to be given more muscle cells. Your natural testosterone levels will be higher than mine. Your natural growth hormone levels will be higher as a teenager than mine. And if it just so happens that you start training in the midst of this genetic pool that is accumulating of testosterone and muscle cells and IGF-1 levels and human growth hormone levels as a teenager, and you begin training when all this is accumulating, you can get really freaking big. But you got to be born with these genetic enhancements, which the majority of us are not. Okay? And the reason I answer this honestly, and I know for a fact this is true and possible, is because I trained with a fella named John Mulligan back in the 80s and 90s. John Mulligan was the biggest bodybuilder I'd ever seen in my life. I idolized the kid. I wanted to be this kid. He was everything I wanted to become, and I thought he was on steroids. Everybody in New York thought he was on steroids. Just so happened for 5 years, I got to train with John Mulligan, and I became best friends with John Mulligan. And, excuse me, within the 5 years, I learned that he was not on steroids. It was all natural. He had the biggest arms, the most beautiful arms. Bicep-tricep ratio was perfect. His legs were freaking ginormous. His back was a freaking turtle shell. It was huge. Everything about Johnny was huge. And over the 5 years, I learned he was natural. He was just a genetic freak of nature. At birth, he was given more muscle cells in his legs, in his shoulders, in his arms. He had hypertrophy. He had hyperplasia going on at an alarming rate that a white boy like me, a small little teenager, could never have achieved. He was white, by the way. There is also the black genetic factor, where you see these black athletes are just more advanced than us white boys because they're better basketball players, they're better football players. There's just another example of achievement that is given at birth. Not necessarily you can train for these achievements. They're given to you at birth. Well, in bodybuilding, you also have that gift, and John Mulligan had that gift. Now, can you get as big as today's bodybuilders? No, absolutely not. Don't get this confused. The guys in the 80s were only taking steroids. The guys today are taking ridiculous drugs. Insulin, IGF-1, human growth hormone, and they're taking it at alarming doses. Okay, that's why they're as big as they are, and that's why they look the way they do. So there's your answer to both. The Robbinhood app, anabolic steroids being natural. You just got to work harder, but you got to be given some gifts at birth. Happy Monday, everybody. It is off to the gym for me. Hopefully y'all have an excellent day, and I will upload my bench press video here shortly. Peace, everybody.